Oh.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check them out. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika, Alabama. Take your choice. A brand new 2024 Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks, discounted up to $15,000 off, or 0% financing. Plus, no payments till springtime. Here at Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, get ready to smile.
Everyone, Thrift Barringer here, Richard Holdridge, and we have an incredible show for you here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We are live from the Lumpkin Center. This is home of the GIAA State Championships, and it's also home tonight for the Pacelli Lady Vikings and Vikings as they try to go repeat back-to-back and sweep the 4A classification. We've had a lot of fun here, Richard, and we're excited about tonight, but glad that we can get a Georgia, Alabama Sports Live show in.
Yeah, it's been an exciting week. This is the final day. We got the 2A and 4A championships, and your local teams here in Columbus are going to be in it tonight. The Lady Vikings and Vikings, they will tip off at 6 and 8:30. I cannot wait for that, but there's just so many sports to talk about.
Yeah.
I know we've been calling these games. I've been pulling up my computer, NFHS Network, got the laptop out, kind of checking scores, and just a lot of sports to get into.
A ton we're going to have today. We're going to recap what happened yesterday at America's. Carver and Hardaway played in the Final Four. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Central Red Devils and Lady Red Devils. They played on Friday and talk about what happened there. Plus, Pacelli, both winning their Final Fours. They're in the state championship. Columbus State clinching a regular season championship and more. And we got a special guest coming up here in the next 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to sit down with the head girls coach of the Pacelli Vikings, Bryant Thomas, who's trying to go back-to-back. So without further ado, we are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Kinetic Credit Union, Buffalo Rock, Pepsi, and, of course, Gordy Eye Care. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be me and Bryant Thomas with a one-on-one interview to talk ahead of his state championship game tonight here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. You're watching right now the Georgia, Alabama Sports Live show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this. Georgia, Alabama. Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers, and Northside Patriots, The Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars, to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia-Alabama sports live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next.
Hi, my name is Griff Gordy, and here at Gordy Eye Care, we have been serving the Bi-City community for 17 years. As a former state championship quarterback, I love the fact that I can watch local high school athletics from the comfort of my own home. So it was a no-brainer to support Georgia-Alabama Sports Live and what they do for young athletes in our area.
And without business like yourself, Gordy Eye Care, none of our coverage would be possible to be able to cover these 16 different high schools, the local colleges, and professional teams. So we'd like to say thank you to you, Dr. Griff Gordy, and Gordy Eye Care for your support of Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And then you can make an appointment today at Gordy Eye Care with the number 334-291-5125. Keep supporting Gordy Eye Care and keep watching Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And we're back here live from Columbus State University ahead of tonight's state championship games. And I'm with a really good friend of mine and the head girls coach of the Pacelli Vikings, also assistant athletic director, Bryant Thomas. Coach, thank you so much for coming and joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
I know today's a busy day. Y'all have a lot on your plate, which includes, as I got my keys in my pocket, which includes being able to have shoot around and everything else. So I appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time today.
Yeah.
Coach, you got the big win over Stratford. Dominant performance. Michaela Hosley had 30 points. Let's start there. What did you learn from your team as they came out? It looked like they had focus, determined, discipline, and dominated number 2 seed Stratford.
What I learned about my team, man, when it's time to lock in, they'll lock in, and they follow the scouting report to the detail. I mean, when we put it on paper and say, hey, this is what got to be done, they lock in. We're playing for the seniors and one freshman, Jayla Kendrick, right now.
Yeah. And Jayla, who's done a great job stepping in as a freshman who wasn't on the team last year, but trying to go back-to-back, Coach. We'll talk about Athens Christian. That's your next opponent, their #1 overall seed. But to make it back to the state championship game in back-to-back years, what does that mean to you and your program? In 3 seasons, 2 state championship appearances, did you think it was ever going to turn around this fast?
No, I didn't think it would turn around that fast until the kids got in and started really putting in the work, but it's a blessing to be able to be here back to back, but, got to come with some luck, make sure everybody's staying healthy.
Yeah. And
that's why we're here. Everybody's still healthy. We're locked in. So, being here to have an opportunity to win it again is amazing.
Coach, how big of a factor is it, the experience part? The being in the Final Four last year, being in the state championship last year. Do you think that helped your girls? They know what it takes to play on this court. They're familiar with it. Obviously, earlier this year, too, you played in the Christmas tournament against Hardaway, who's playing in the state championship, albeit. So that was like a state championship game in its own in the middle of the season, Coach.
Yeah.
But do you think that experience has helped your girls for this moment?
Oh, definitely. That experience is everything, man. Experience is everything. When you got some senior leadership, it's always going to help you. The team with the most seniors typically have the edge,
right.
But we got some senior leadership. We're trying to finish it out for these seniors. Like you said, that Hardaway game was a huge game. It was like a championship environment.
Yep.
Same building, same place.
Right.
I'm rooting for them too. So
right.
After this, I want to be rooting for the Hardaway Hawks.
Yep.
So because hey, that's that iron, that sharpened iron, and those things that we had in Hardaway game is going to be able to help us in this game today.
No doubt about it. And let's talk about Athens Christian. They got size, they got playmaking, just like with Hardaway. What is the mindset going into this one? To try to take advantage of any weaknesses of Athens Christian's got it. They've been #1 all season. You've been telling me, now I don't agree with the rankings. I think y'all should be #1, but you've been telling me about, hey, don't sleep on Athens Christian. They're pretty good. And Coach Vaughn's got them in the championship. What are you looking forward to playing them tonight, man?
We got to be the aggressive. We can't sit back and let them control the paint. We got to be the aggressive. We can't be afraid. We got to take care of the basketball. We got to box out, rebound, get in transition. Play our style, that's what we got to do. And I feel very confident. The girls know it. They know what they have to do, so now it's just about us relaxing doing the right things the rest of the day, and then just be locked in when it's time to play.
Coach, you got Michaela Hosley. I want you to talk about what she's meant to your program, to you as a coach, to see her turn. And right now, she's playing at the highest level I've ever seen her play.
Yeah.
That 30 points she had against Stratford, there's a reason why she's going to Georgia Southern. But talk about her specifically and what she's meant in this program, take it to heights that it's never been.
Michaela Hosley, it's a lot to say. You know, coming to Pacelli, being the player that she is, a student that she is, you know, the little things that she do on the court that helps us, that motivates us. You know, she got a couple of blocks that last game,
Yeah.
you know, and the energy went. I think we went on a 16-0 run. She
Yep.
has some deflections and steals. She do a lot of things for us, the stats-wise. But a lot of times throughout the season, she just been playing for everybody else, but she realized, like, hey, I gotta step up. I gotta demand. I gotta be a little selfish here and there.
Right.
But hey, I gotta take over this team, and that's what she's done. Without her, we're not in this situation back to back.
Right.
You know, so credit for her, you know, doing what she do.
No doubt about it. And I love watching her play. And I told her dad he should be very proud of the woman she's becoming. And
Yes.
looking forward to seeing her play at Georgia Southern
Yes.
next year. All right, Coach, you got a game at 6:20. All right, you got Athens Christian. You've been familiar with him. You watched a lot of film. Do you feel like it's the boxing out? You said it's being aggressive, but you know the size. They do have several bodies a little bit bigger than your girls. I know rebounding is going to be a point of emphasis tonight, isn't it?
Yes, rebound, point of emphasis. You said size, we're deep.
Yeah.
Size and deep.
Yep,
So
there we go.
that's the difference, you know. So we can wear them out, box them out. Hopefully they get some over the back calls, so then they'll slow down for going to get those rebounds. So hey, we do what we're supposed to do early, boxing out. We're going to be able to control the game like we want to do.
Coach, I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago, man. You're sitting there trying to decide, all right, my playing career is over. I want to get into coaching. And now you're on a court that gave you another opportunity. You were looking for that opportunity.
Yeah.
And Coach Bransom said, hey, come here to play here at Columbus State. You got to meet Corey. Now you have an opportunity to do something that nobody's done in this area in a long time, which is going back-to-back as state champions. Have you ever thought about it, like what this meant to you in your career? And did you ever think you would be here in this moment?
Never thought about it. Haven't thought about it. I'm in the moment right now. I'm locked into the girls that I got here,
man.
you know, so I haven't thought about it. It's not about me. It's about what I'm working with right now and, you know, make the best of it.
Well, I'm thinking about it for you, man, because what you've done, the road you've been on, it's a story in itself, man, and
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you, dude. This is your call to the community. It's not just Pacelli. We keep saying this.
Yeah.
It's Chattahoochee Valley versus everyone. We cheered
Yeah.
for Central. We cheered for Carver, cheer for Hardaway, and
Yeah.
we're cheering for Pacelli. Why they need to come out tonight at the Lumpkins here, pack the house, and cheer on your Lady Vikings.
You need to be here tonight. It's going to be a great game, great environment. This is a team that has a couple of collegiate players. So do we. You know, it's going to be a war, and that's what I like to call it. It's going to be a war. So hey, at 6 o'clock, you need to be here, rooting us on.
Coach, final question. Calvin Thomas will not be with us here today. He's obviously got a lot of things going on here. I appreciate, again, your time.
Yeah.
And Calvin was telling me he's on the hunt. They're ready to win, and he wants everyone coming out cheering for the Lady Vikings at 6:20 and the Vikings at 8 p.m. But I want you to talk about Coach Thomas coming in and taking over a program and taking over a legend in Coach Black. It is not easy to do, and to do it and be undefeated and on the precipice to finishing 28-0 and winning back-to-back state champions. What has he meant in seeing his growth and taking on this job? I know it's been impressive, hasn't it, Coach?
Oh, man, Calvin, it's a tough task,
Yeah.
you know, coming in, walking in behind Corey Black. And, you know, all people always say, man, you got some big shoes to fill. But nobody ever leave their shoes. You got to bring your own shoes. He
Right.
brought his own shoes, you
Good
know.
point,
so being in the situation that he's in right now, lost some kids through the portal. They say Pacelli wasn't going to be here. You
Yeah.
heard a lot, you know. But, hey, they're 27-0. They've been playing good. They've been playing as a unit, been playing as a team. Credit to Coach Calvin and staff, you know, just being locked in, doing the right things, following some of the things Corey left for that group.
Yep.
And those kids are still doing some of the same things. They have a system that they do. They always in the gym. So to be able to go back to back from a new coach to a new coach, stepping in as an AD, losing kids.
Yep.
I mean, that's huge to go back to back. So he's going to make some history winning tonight, going undefeated. That's never happened.
Nope.
We haven't had an undefeated season.
Nope.
Corey just got the first state championship at Pacelli. So, hey, we're talking about some history that he can make today. That program, these kids that came in as freshmen, stuck it out, played together. Didn't get a lot of time probably in the state championship last year or the years before.
Yeah.
But they have grown as a group. So just to get those kids to lock in, to be where they are today is amazing.
No doubt about it, Coach, and we're cheering for you. Everyone needs to come out. 6:20 tonight. His team will take on Athens Christian, and guess what? The boys take on Athens Christian. So, yeah, both teams, Pacelli and Athens Christian. We got a great one here tonight, Coach. Thank you so much.
Right.
Good luck, and we'll see you later on. That is Coach Bryant Thomas here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll be cheering for his Vikings and the Lady Vikings later tonight. We'll take a break. Richard will come back on, and we'll talk about the rest of high school basketball playoffs in the area and Columbus State University here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this. Georgia Alabama Sports Live will be your go-to for all your favorite high school and collegiate games this fall. From the Carver Tigers to the Columbus Blue Devils, the Harris County Tigers and Northside Patriots, the Glenwood Gators and Calvary Christian Knights, the Pacelli Vikings and Brookstone Cougars, to the Smith Station Panthers and Russell County Warriors, from CVCC, Pirates basketball and baseball, and every tournament from here to Macon. We are the #1 destination for anything happening in East Alabama and West Central Georgia. Be sure to like and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, and stay tuned for even more amazing ways we will be bringing Georgia Alabama Sports Live to you this upcoming season. We can't wait to come see you next.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Welcome back, everyone. Thrift, Barringer, Richard, Holdridge. We're having a lot of fun. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Live from Columbus State tonight. We got state championships. We got at 6:20 the girls, 8 p.m. will be the boys, and I cannot wait to be on the call for that on GIAA.tv. You won't be able to watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You will have to pay, but I promise you it's worth the admission, because it is going to be a fantastic broadcast, many angles, replay. It is great what Brett Taylor, with Tony Morgan and the whole entire crew, including some of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live crew, we're all combining together to bring you ultimate broadcast here later tonight. All right, Richard, let's talk about some of the high school basketball playoffs. Let's go to Thursday, and we got the Central Red Devils and Lady Red Devils. They played, so did Pacelli Vikings and Lady Vikings. They both won, obviously, and they both won in dominant fashion. But for the Lady Red Devils and Red Devils, they come up short. Tough task, man. Hoover's really good, boys and girls. They're ranked nationally in the top 10. For the girls, they just triple-teamed Jabria, and it was just too much to overcome for them. Jabria played well, but she just can't do it by herself. And for the boys, Jaden Ford put up 28, but kind of an off night for Bryce Dawson and Jonah Jones. Seniors like Des Williams were in single digits. The trees and the length and size of Hoover just came too much to overcome. And Hoover continues their 49-game winning streak, and they're going to win state, both boys and girls. But not a season to hold your head down on. What a career for all those seniors at Central. They go down as one of the winningest group ever for the boys, and for the girls, for Jetta Williams, taking them there. They know what it takes to get there. Let's see what happens next year. But they both come up short against Hoover.
Yeah, just the fact that Jabria is going to be a senior next year.
Wow.
I actually, when I was watching that Hoover game, I kind of felt like Jabria needs a running mate. She needs somebody that could put up 20 just like her, because if she's going to win a championship, sometimes you're going to need another elite scorer to go along with you. Now, her supporting cast is good. Garrett Griggs, Danica Todd, they've had a great season. But Hoover's defensive plan was to triple team Jabria. That's what they did all game. And Hoover has won 4 straight championships in a row. We're talking about the Hoover girls. Now, as for the Hoover boys, they're just dominant, playing on another level. They're going to win another state championship, but you got to give credit to Coach Burkett and the Central Red Devils getting
Great season.
this far, and with that group of seniors going to the championship 2 years ago, the Final Four last year, and then the Final Four this year, what a great season for both the Central Lady Red Devils and Devils.
Yeah, excellent years for them. And again, they came up short. But how about Jaden Ford as a junior, putting up 28 in a game like that? If you're my college coach, I don't care about the size. That guy's got heart. He can score with the best of them, and I would put him on my team any day of the week. And he's still got another year, so he'll be back. Yeah. But, man, what a game from him. But it just wasn't enough against those Hoover Buccaneers. All right, then last night we had Carver taking on Butler. And I think it was a shock. It was. Butler's a really good team, but I thought if Carver plays its best, nobody can beat them. But they just had a tough game. Shots weren't falling like they used to, turning the ball over more than they're used to. Also, Butler, credit to them and their staff for doing that. I mean, they're a really good team.
Yeah.
And Coach Allen's team comes up short in overtime. Tony Montgomery in his final game had 29 points. He hit the three-pointer to tie it to get them even in overtime. But then in overtime, they just didn't have enough. They ended up losing 78-73. Great season, 27-3. They'll be back again next year. They lose Tony Montgomery and, of course, Aiden Jones. But everybody else comes back. This team will be back in the mix and winning a championship. But they come up short, and I was really shocked by it. But great season for Coach Allen. A season you do not hold your head down on. Great performance by T.J. Woodson as a freshman coming up big. We were watching the game while calling the games last night. But Carver comes up short to Butler, and they lose in the Final Four.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Allen and the Carver Tigers on a very successful season. Yeah, not the result they wanted. I mean, they were the #1 team, but Butler's really good. I appreciate the fans that actually made the trip to the Storm Dome down in Americus.
Yep.
But if they stuck around, they got to see the Hardaway girls because they played right after.
And we'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah.
But this team is going to be good next year. And they should be the favorites in their region because T.J. Woodson's going to come back. You got Jacoby GASLive, Tristan
Tolbert.
Givens, Tobias Tolbert.
Right.
I mean, yeah, they are losing Tony Montgomery. They are losing Isaiah and Rose Green. I mean, the depth that Carver had. Think about this. Champ Simpson, he averaged 8 points a game last year for Carver. He goes on and plays at Chaco, averages 24 points a game. Carver knows how to develop talent, and they will always have depth. I mean, Coach Allen is just a great coach when it comes to developing talent.
No
Carver's going to be back next year. Yeah, we're going to miss Tony Montgomery. We wish him well at Troy.
Yep.
But he's going to go down as one of the best basketball players to come out of this city, and I can't wait to see what he does at the next level.
No doubt about it. And then for the Hardaway Lady Hawks, they take down Josie. They got Morgan County coming up. Murray
County.
And Murray's #1. But I like Hardaway. They have won by double digits in every game. This is one of the more dominant runs we've seen from a team. They look like a team determined. They look like a team that's not letting anything faze them. And Coach Kelly Ellison's team is one game away. Back-to-back state championship appearances, 3 straight Final Fours. Their legacy has already been cemented, but we need one more thing to get them over the top. That's that state championship win. I think they got what it takes. What a win, a performance, and what a coaching job by Coach Kelly Ellison and those Lady Hawks. Incredible job by Brianna Boynton, Deja Burrell, always elite defensively. And then what can you say about A.K. Shelpin and Michaela Johnson? The bench with Julia Johnson, who was fantastic, Micaiah Mims. They did everything they needed to do to get a win back in the state championship game. And they'll take on Murray next Thursday at 1 p.m. live from Macon.
You know what I think, Thrift? I think this team is better than the last year's team that went
There's no
to the
doubt.
championship in 4A. To add a player like Brianna Boynton, who's only a sophomore, as your leading scorer. Now, we watched this game on the NFHS Network, too, while we were calling games here at Columbus State. Josie kept it close in that first half. You know, Josie's a really good team. They were preseason #1. They went to the championship as a 2A school last year. And Josie has a lot of talented players, but I think that the size, the depth, and the will to just put a team away, that is why Hardaway was able to win by 20 points, even though this game was a little bit closer, especially in that first half. I mean, I admit, I was getting a little nervous. When Josie was keeping it close, I saw that Hardaway had that 11-point lead, and then Hardaway just put it away. Now, Murray County's only lost 1 game all season.
They didn't play near the schedule Hardaway did either.
They have not. And let's be honest, their first-round game, they played a 4-24 team.
Yeah,
but
come on.
They are the #1 overall team in 2A. And I got to look and see what is their history like in champ. I know they weren't in the 2A championship last year.
Yeah.
I don't know what classification they were in.
But we'll have
last year.
plenty of time on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to preview all this on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. But
let me tell you something. Hardaway has got the experience of being in a state championship. They know that feeling. When they lost to Baldwin last year, when we were watching this game, we thought that Hardaway could pull it out. But Baldwin, with the championship experience, found a way to get it done. And I think that Baldwin having that home court advantage in Macon, that really helped them because their fans really packed Macon. And that's the plea to the community. Thursday, Macon Coliseum, they play at 1. Take work off or leave work early, drive to Macon and come support these Hardaway Lady Hawks.
No doubt about it. And we'll be cheering them on, and we'll preview that game coming up here on Sunday on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to preview tonight's Athens Christian Pacelli games, and then we're going to wrap it up talking Columbus State University and what they have able to accomplish. And they got a big game, both girls and boys, tomorrow. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. We'll be right back after this. You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
I'm always on the go. But with the Kinetic Credit Union app, Kinetic is always with me. The Kinetic mobile app is virtual banking at its best. With the Kinetic mobile app, I can easily send and receive money, make a deposit, pay some bills, and I can even open up a new account, all from my phone. And I can monitor all my accounts in one place, all on the go. The Kinetic mobile app, energized banking at its best.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show live from the Lumpkin Center. You see it. We're your voices for GIAA.TV, and we got big games tonight, 2A and 4A. We did 1A and 3A state championships last night, and there were some good games, and we expect some good ones here tonight. All right, let's talk about Pacelli. The girls take on the #1 team, Athens Christian. They've been #1 all year long. They got a bunch of size, but what they don't have is elite guard play like Pacelli. So you got elite guard play going up against size. You got depth going up against size. I think Pacelli, if they play the way I saw them and Michaela does against Stratford, I don't think anybody can beat them. It will be a closely contested game. There'll be a lot of defense early on. But I'm taking the experience factor, playing in this gym, knowing what it takes to win a state championship. I'm obviously going to be a homer, and I'm going to say Pacelli is going to win this game. As for the boys, Athens Christian, out of all the 4A schools, they're the only school that has the size and the depth to be able to keep up with Pacelli. But again, Pacelli, only way they lose if they're not playing their A game. And when I've talked with Coach Calvin Thomas, they're determined. And this team doesn't look like a team that's coming in with any pressure. It feels like a team that's coming in loose, ready to rock and roll, and that'll be at 8 p.m. tonight. I think we're going to get another sweep for the Pacelli Vikings and Lady Vikings, winning another state championship, which would be back-to-back.
I can't stress enough how important home court advantage is. We've seen some of these schools come from all corners of the state, pack this gymnasium with their student section. Please, not just Pacelli fans, not just Pacelli students, but the community of Columbus, come on out to the Lumpkin Center. Let's pack this gymnasium with Pacelli fans because home court advantage has really been the determining factor with some of these teams. But I think that Pacelli is going to be too strong. Let's start with the girls. Yeah, they were the #3 seed. They silenced the critics by beating the #2 seed Stratford Academy. Athens Christian is the #1 seed because as a GHSA school, they did go to the Final Four last year. The one player you got to watch out for is Marlene Milbina. She is their post player. She's got size, but I think Michaela Hosley can neutralize her. Michaela Hosley can play defense on her. I know that Milbina is a little bit taller than Hosley, but like you mentioned, Thrift, that guard play is going to be the factor, and I think the Pacelli girls both go back-to-back. As far as the Pacelli boys, we know about the size that Athens Christian has. They do have like a 6'10" center, like in Nwabade. He's their big
sophomore,
center.
Yep.
He's only a sophomore. That is crazy.
Him and Michael Rowe going to be battling it out for sure.
Definitely going to be battling out for sure. I always want to see a Makai Williams dunk.
Yeah, and by the way, if you missed on Thursday, he dunked on someone and just took the life from this young man. It was incredible, and you may be seeing it here tonight. Now let's go on to the other teams because we're going to have a chance to talk to Matt Hauser and Robert Moore ahead of their conference tournament. If we don't have a show tomorrow, which we probably won't because me and Rich have been going so hard,
So busy.
it's probably going to be Monday when we do our another Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. But we're going to try to get on Robert and Coach Matt Hauser,
Yes.
the preview, because guess what? Robert Moore's team won the regular season championship. They're ranked number 7 in the country. Jared Adderton is going to be an All-American. You got guys like Jelani James, who are sensational, Cordell Brown, Wisdom Ubo. I like this team a lot.
Yes.
Roman Sun. I was watching them practice yesterday, and they just look like a team that's got great chemistry, that knows and holds each other accountable. I think this team can make a Final Four and a national championship run. 100% think they could be cutting down the nets this year. And that's the first time I think I've said that in a long time for those Cougars. And the Lady Cougars, who are second in the conference, they've lost a few games because of dealing with injury. Now that they are fully back healthy, Coach Matt Hauser thinks that they have everything it takes to win the conference tournament, and having both those teams making deep runs in the NCAA tournament, credit to both those coaches. What an incredible season. And they got a game tomorrow live right here from the Lumpkin Center. And come on, cheer on both of them. Come out, see the final regular season senior night for both boys and girls. I'm going to be cheering them on. The entire city of Columbus needs to be here. And then if there's some upsets, we know the boys, long as Columbus State wins that first round matchup, they're going to be hosting the semifinals.
Yes, they are.
Now, Columbus State girls, they're going to need some help. But either way, we're going to be having basketball here at the Lumpkin Center for some region tournament games. So excited and looking forward to seeing how this plays out, man.
That first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament for both the boys and the girls will be here at the Lumpkin Center on Wednesday. Girls will tip off.
We'll be
then
here
the
to
boys.
support, no doubt.
And if they are able to win, the girls have got to hope that North Georgia College loses in the first round. North Georgia College is going to be the 1 seed. They're going to be taking on the 8 seed. Columbus State is the 2 seed. But we know for sure if the Columbus State boys, which will be the 1 seed, if they can win Wednesday, they will be hosting the Peach Belt Conference Tournament on March 8th and 9th with the championship game on Sunday, March the 9th. How about that?
And
That great job by Coach Moore and that Columbus State staff to get an opportunity to possibly host the Peach Belt Conference Tournament.
Unbelievable, and we're thankful for those teams, and we'll be cheering them on. And you need to be cheering on tonight. Pacelli, Lady Vikings and Vikings, 6:20 here at the Lumpkin Center. Either that or pay to watch it on GIAA.tv. Cheer on your Vikings and Lady Vikings. We want to say thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you on Monday. Good night, everyone. And if we have state champions, we will have live interviews with Calvin Thomas and Bryant Thomas immediately following the boys' game, and talking with both of them on what it means if they cut down the net. So we'll see later on tonight. From Richard Holdridge, I'm Thrift Barringer saying thank y'all so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Thank you for watching the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. You're ready to smile.